Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the 2025 Elite League. We are still in the group stage. I am DaMan2413, joined in the booth today by Elves. And Elves, we've got three big-time matchups coming up for you in just a moment.
Oh, yeah. We have a stacked lineup tonight, so strap in, everybody, because this is going to be a really epic stream. Tonight, we have SkullJoke versus Deltarak, 1 seed versus 6 seed of Group D. We have Jarvis9999 versus Sanic, Group B, 1 seed versus 2 seed. And Tris versus GiometriQ of Group C, 2 seed versus 4 seed. This is Jarvis's debut match for Elite League, so it's going to be very exciting to see what Jarvis puts up tonight.
A lot of big anticipation for that one, certainly from my end, and I know from plenty of others out there. But we will start off the proceedings with, as you mentioned, it will be 1 seed SkullJoke versus 6 seed Deltarak. Now, this is not your grandfather's 1 versus 6 seed, because when it comes to group stage in Elite League, things are a bit different. Those margins are a lot smaller. And I mean, when you look at someone like Deltarak as a 6 seed, they did 4-0 Nelson. Who was a higher seed going into this. I believe Nelson was a 4 seed. So certainly no slouch is Deltarak.
No, definitely Deltarak has been putting up some impressive scores for being a 6 seed, so do not expect an easy sweep at all. This is going to be a great match.
Now, that being said, while no easy sweep should be on anyone's mind, with someone as good as SkullJoke, the possibility of a sweep is always in play. SkullJoke being someone who is capable of FCing just about every song on the set list.
Oh yeah, and we are in with the bans. The bans
Very
are
nice.
going to be SkullJoke deferring, so Tolly is going to ban first, and they're banning London is Burning, and SkullJoke will be banning Cry a River. So
Right.
Deltarak is going to get the first song pick.
Very interesting bans from both. We will see that first song pick, I'm sure, very, very soon. Not going to be a lot of time taken. But the deferral from SkullJoke might throw things off a little bit now. 1 seed versus 6 seed. I can see the thought process behind doing a deferral. When you have that seed advantage, you tend to feel pretty comfortable on everything. So you kind of leave it in your opponent's hands, see what they ban first. And that first pick is in. It is going to be Egyptian to start things off.
This is a song that I in particular have not seen very much of, and this is going to be a great start. I can't wait.
It is going to be a great start. This is song number 1 of match number 1 of the stream. Again, 3 matches today. First to 4 wins it. So players will pick. If we are 3-3 after 6 songs, we will go to a tiebreaker. We'll get to those rules if we get there. But for now, it is 1 seed SkullJoke, 6 seed Tolly. SkullJoke 2-0. Tolly is 1-1. We will see. Both players have actually played this song before. In match PBs are 567K for SkullJoke and 543K for Tolly. So actually pretty close overall in terms of scores. Now, again, you've only got 2 matches worth of data for those, but we will see who is locked in and ready to go. It is Tolly with this pick. So you've got to imagine there's some serious practice and some serious thought going into this one to start things off.
Yeah, definitely. Here we go. Only 1 time in match both of these players have played this, so really anything can happen.
Absolutely, yeah. You never know for sure. It is the first drop there from Tolly, and it is going to be a phrase drop. They did get some whammy there, but there is going to be an extra phrase on SkullJoke's side to open things up here.
Yeah, it's gonna definitely throw off your initial starting path as well, because this is Elite League. You know both players have put in a lot of time for pathing. So having that first phrase drop is gonna, especially right there with those fast strum bursts and this fast fretting burst all under star power, gonna give SkullJoke a 20k lead.
Yeah, SkullJoke opted in to go pretty safe there. You don't want that overlap, and SkullJoke does avoid it. So now Tolly has the star power advantage, but SkullJoke's still on her path as of now. Another couple misses there. SkullJoke very strong. I should mention here, this is the only one of the 3 un-FC'd songs in the initial 10 like non-tiebreaker songs. There are 3 songs in the group stage that haven't been FC'd that are not tiebreakers. This is one of them.
Yep. Egyptian, Invalids, Tapping Noodly, and One Better. So maybe with all of those songs, maybe with all those songs on the table for this match in particular, something can happen. There's another phrase drop for Natalia, unfortunately.
Yeah, and it is going to be very interesting, actually. I've seen some different activations than what I'm used to from SkullJoke, but it is similar in terms of not overlapping / overlapping where you'd like. So we'll see where the final score ends up. As Tali, again, this is the opening pick. I'm sure nerves are running high. When you play that 1 seed, it's always going to be tricky. But I mean, and it's especially tricky when they're playing that well, but then a couple of drops there from SkullJoke. That is the first drop of the match for SkullJoke now.
No Egyptian FC in this match, but I'm sure something will happen later. But for now, it is almost a 40k lead for SkullJoke with a slight star power advantage from Natalia.
Now there is a big activation coming up. A lot of notes in this upcoming activation. Here it is. Both players playing it fairly safe. So far, so good for both. Oh my goodness, they're cooking. One drop there from Tali. And it's just a single miss in that section, but it is so huge. As you can see, SkullJoke back in the lead. Missed there from both, so that stays about even. Now approaching a 50k lead for SkullJoke at the moment. There still is one more big porting section under star power that could help swing things a bit, so we will see. First, some tough sweeps.
Both players nailed that.
Yeah, both players have seemed to have settled in this second half. The misses they had recently were pretty tough sections. And here comes that second section.
Very tough courting here. Couple of drops.
And SkullJoke nailed that courting bit. That is really impressive. Yeah. Holy cow. Yeah, so very strong start for SkullJoke here. Very strong lead as well. It is going to take a big collapse here from SkullJoke. So if you're Tali, you might start thinking about song number 2 already, but also just getting into a nice rhythm here, getting your bearings back together, taking a breath, resetting, and getting ready for that second song.
Definitely. Looking like what we like to call meteor theorem around here. The song is coming to a close. Looking like 80k for SkullJoke.
Tricky little bit at the very end, too.
Both players nail it.
Yeah, very nice. And that will do it, though. Very strong start for SkullJoke. That is an in-match PB by about 30k for SkullJoke. -7, and that is 1-0 for the seed.
Definitely very impressive from SkullJoke. Definitely going to be interested in what Deltarak will pick next after the first song, Steel, because Deltarak did pick first. What are we expecting here, DaMan?
Well, it's Tali's pick again, and I mean, when you look at the score differences between songs, it is tough because there are still some songs on the table that have not been picked yet. I might think of something like Cry Me a River, but the problem is that's been banned. That is really the big spot that Tali had a big advantage. So the pick is in, though. It's going to be Apocalypse Canvas. We are staying in the hybrids.
Oh yeah, very, very popular song among matches. Just so many scores. So far there have been 5 FCs with 2 of them by SkullJoke. So we have a slight uphill battle for Tali here, but we'll see what happens in this.
Not only is it 2 FCs, it is the top score in match so far by SkullJoke. So SkullJoke certainly an expert in this song, and Tali with a couple early drops. So SkullJoke already out to a nice little lead, but the ever-important phrase picked up by Tali there, so nothing too crucial yet. And in fact, those early misses can actually be a little bit better than once you've already built up your ×4 multiplier. The math just works out where you are a little bit less than a single miss away.
Oh,
very nice hack by both there.
Yeah, very, very close. Not overlap you want there. Both players nailed that activation.
So very, very tough section here. These descending quad strum things. It's unbelievably tricky to fret, but both players making it look incredibly easy. One more cycle.
One more. Oh, they nailed it.
That is really impressive by both. Both players now have locked in. As we approach that first solo, there still is a bit of time before then. There is one more activation actually before then. But some of this this is the type of stuff that Tali did struggle with early, but seems to have gotten into a nice rhythm here.
Yeah, SkullJoke still on FC, Tali only missing in the intro, and both players are going on 700 note streaks. Very tough tapping part right here.
Yep.
Very well done. SkullJoke FCing, Tali with a -1.
Yeah, another single miss is the difference. So there have been two different sections now where SkullJoke has been one note better, and it's a 15,000 point lead for SkullJoke.
Identical action. Yeah. Here we go. Next solo.
Really crusty. Strumming through these zigs. Can they both maintain combo out of this?
Another -1 and another FC.
Wow. It is quite a score from Tali and quite a miscount from Tali right now, but SkullJoke is just killing it right now.
Constant -1 note differences that are just eating away at that lead that Tali is trying to get back.
SkullJoke appearing to be an unstoppable object when it comes to this song. Obviously, Tali with a lot of comfortability on this chart. A very strong run, but big section coming up here. Both opting to act early, be a little safer, a little more comfortable. No overlap here, which is part of some paths, but we will see how it plays out as both players hit the entire thing again. Unbelievable by both players, but it is SkullJoke still in the lead. 1,700 straight coming up on this outro. A lot of zigs tap notes coming up here. Big ending here if SkullJoke is going to want to take this one and make it 2-0.
Very, very tough section, especially with this open note tapping coming up right here. Drop from Tali right away, but seems to get into a groove afterward.
So they are doing these zigs and releasing the frets every single time in this section, and then this transition into these ascending. Oh my goodness, and SkullJoke nails it. Seems to be in. Locked in again. I'm running out of words.
What more is there to say when one of them is FCing?
Unbelievable. It was a great run, but Tali can only watch as SkullJoke has FC'd again in match. It is 2-0 SkullJoke.
The third in-match FC from SkullJoke, proving that the consistency on this song to FC 3 times in match is very, very impressive. And a -8 + 3 from Tali, that's really, really good. That's super impressive. It's just, it can't be an FC.
That is a tough pill to swallow if you're Tali. It's a very strong run. That phrase missed. I think there was a phrase miss, right, from Tali? I think there was one, but I mean, it's all moot because that is the third best score of the entire group stage so far, only behind Jeff and herself. So now 2-0 for SkullJoke early with a couple of really impressive runs, a in-match PB and then another FC of Apocalypse Canvas. That's SkullJoke's third of the tournament in 4, and this is her third match. So every time SkullJoke has played that, it's been an FC. The next pick is, and it's Goblin Humpa.
Everyone get your humpas ready in chat.
I'm sure they all have them ready. That would not surprise me at all. If I know chat, and I think I do. Goblin Humpa.
Small amount of experience with chat.
Now, SkullJoke has never played this song in match. Tali has once. Could be part of the reason Tali picked it. dropped phrase there. The early dropped phrase is unfortunately being a big deal in this match. And against the 1 seed, again, the margins so small that any small mistake like that feels like you feel like you fall back 7 misses worth just for 1 mistake.
Definitely. SkullJoke is proving strong this first quarter of the song, holding an FC. Oh, another phrase drop from Tali.
And it's such a sporadic song. It goes by quick, too. One of the shorter songs in the set list is this song. A lot of reset strumming, so a lot of releasing of the strum bar. Now, it is worth noting, Tali is not playing on a guitar, actually playing on a laptop right now. First person to play, like, keyboard style like this. I mean, Preston Punk is a special scenario, but in terms of playing on an actual keyboard, I believe the first person we've had in Elite League, so it is incredibly impressive what Tali is doing. But, I mean, when you look at SkullJoke right now, still on FC, and looking strong once again.
Yeah, there's just no words for how SkullJoke is playing right now. Just truly an unstoppable force.
Now, there is the first miss of the song for SkullJoke there, but has built up a comfortable lead now. So not going to end up being a huge factor as of now. And the drop under star power there, another tough one for Tali. So coming up on the second to last activation here, SkullJoke. Actually going to chill out here on this activation for a bit. Actually, a bit of a follow there. Might have got lost. That is the toughest one for me to remember, at least. But definitely a tricky one. Coming up on the ending, though. Very tough ending.
He's fast strumming right into some chord trills. SkullJoke drops and Tali hits it, but it does not matter.
Unreal. Tali has hit some of the hardest sections in all of these songs. Only a -10, but the -2 from SkullJoke is going to lead to the 3-0 lead. It is match point already due to some phenomenal play from SkullJoke here.
Definitely. -2. And let's see where that falls on the scoreboard. SkullJoke got 391. That's going to be pretty up there. Considering that SkullJoke's first time playing that match. And it looks like Tali has played that once.
Yeah, so both players have not played this one a lot, but SkullJoke showing everybody that she's for real on this song. So the rest of Group D that still has a match with SkullJoke, watch out on Goblin Humpa. Only -2 there. So now it is Tali's final pick of the match. And like we said, while it's not going to come easy, and Tali's been playing well, that 4-0 sweep was on the board to start, and it is possible here, but Tali still does have another pick. We'll see where they go. Every song, incredibly important, because it can come down to tiebreakers or based upon song wins and losses, depending on how the rest of your group plays out. So you got to stay locked in for every single song, no matter how your match is going, because it could affect relegation or making playoffs. It's got a lot of weight, every single song. So no time to throw in the towel now. You just got to go with your best song and see what happens.
Yeah, and this match in particular, 2 hybrids were banned, and the other 2 hybrids were picked. So it's only still doing some strum songs left. So we'll see where Tali goes. If Goblin Humpa was anything, I think I would expect a Limbong Kit pick next.
That would be quite the pick. I mean, and with how good of a soloer SkullJoke is, I tend to agree that Strum would probably be the way to go here, even with London is Burning banned by Tali. But here we go. Ooh, the pick is in. And we did have one more hybrid. Yeah,
I was wrong. For some reason, I thought One Better was banned and not London is Burning. As brain fart. Don't mind me.
Don't listen to stream, all right?
No,
we don't know what we're talking about. One Better is the pick. Another song that we haven't seen an FC on yet.
Maybe it could happen. Let's see what these players can put up.
And another song here where SkullJoke has no in-match data as of now. So this will be the first time SkullJoke plays this one. Tali has a 502,000 high score in match.
Yep.
The bass heavy, open note heavy chart, one better.
This song, you just kind of sit here and just vibe.
Incredibly funky song. But getting the rhythm of this is really the tricky part of it. Those open notes, just getting a feel for where those exist, and the ones you do versus don't have to strum, finding out what you want to strum through versus what you want to use the hammer-ons for. It's a really thought-provoking chart, for lack of a better term. Really needs a lot of focus.
Yeah, this is one of those songs in tournament where you play it through and you overstrum a little bit and you miss a little bit and you have to take it into each section. You're like, all right, how do I want to hit this personally? Because there's like probably a few different ways to hit this stuff, and both of those players are nailing it right now.
Yeah, those trills are no joke. They happen twice, both players hit them both times until just their tie with the first miss of the song from either. There's the activation by both. That is right on that chord. And it's going to carry through this bass solo and some really tricky chords. They're going to pop up again. SkullJoke looking good so far, as is Tali, staying right within striking distance here. Oh, and both players hit it again the third time.
Super impressive from both right now.
And going into this is, it is really close.
Like 4K? Yeah. It's like 4K.
Tali keeping that pressure on SkullJoke, who has played incredibly smoothly all match long, but it is still only a one miss difference as of now. Coming up here on that next activation.
Oh,
and the miss there. Now Tali in the lead.
Miss from Tali under star power.
Yeah, the drop there is going to still have Tali in the lead, just barely, especially after that SkullJoke miss. It is now a clean one miss lead, and maybe even more depending on where that miss happens. If you miss some chords, could be worth a little extra, but right now it is Tali with the lead by about 4,000 points in this marimba solo. Very tricky to get out of this clean. Both do. Very strong by both. It is going to come down to the ending if they can make it through. Missed there. SkullJoke now. Skull has the star power advantage. And another miss there. There's the activation from SkullJoke, and they are going to run ahead here with this lead if they can keep the combo. Nice trill by both. Out of the solo, it is going to be close. Actually, it's going to be SkullJoke who has now opened it up to about 20K.
Yeah, from that extra activation from Tali missing that phrase in the solo.
Now one more activation in the song here. And you want to make sure there is another phrase, if I'm not mistaken. You want to get every piece of points you can out of this. It would have to be a miss under star power. If Tali wants a chance, there's the activation from Tali. Seeing if they can get SkullJoke to go. Tali will get that overlap. Very nicely done. SkullJoke playing ultra defensively right now. And there is the miss from Tali. Miss there from SkullJoke as well. Under the star power. Would have been a pretty big miss, and it was, but not enough. That will do it. What a performance by SkullJoke.
Very, very impressive scores, and that was super hard fought by Tali, but SkullJoke proves to be just so consistent. Such low miscounts across the board from all four songs that were played.
Had a really nice note streak to open up the proceedings on that one, did SkullJoke. And I mean, Tali was incredibly strong until that one missed phrase to change everything.
That's all it took. Is just that one miss. That's how impressive you have to play when you go up against the one seed. Is just that one miss difference.
And that will do it. I'm sure we will be getting those players in for interview, assuming they're willing and able. So we'll talk to them both in just a moment here. is now SkullJoke 3-0. Tali is 1-2 in the group stage. So both players still with, I believe, 2 matches to go.
Yep.
Excellent. We are getting those players in now, and here they are.
Different colored socks.
Hello. Hello.
Wow.
Hello.
I appreciate that very much. I get that reference. Well, it is SkullJoke and Tali. First of all, SkullJoke, congratulations on a very impressive match and a very impressive 4-0 win. How do you feel about how you played today in the match?
There were a few silly misses that I rather would not have happened, but I think overall I played very well.
Oh, absolutely. You had, well, technically you had 3 in-match PBs because 2 of the songs you hadn't played before, but you did PB on Egyptian and another FC of Apocalypse is incredibly impressive. And then we go to Tali, Tali, you put up some really strong runs on a couple of those songs, and we're keeping Astrid honest, but it's always tough sledding against a 1 seed. How did you feel about how you played, and kind of what was your thoughts going into the match?
I didn't practice as much as I would have liked for this. If anyone saw my match against Radrog, I needed a bit of a breather after that one. So I took yesterday off, only did a bit of warm-up for this. That's sort of why my picks were in the order they were. I wanted to sort of build up to my more confident ones / the one I thought Astrid would be least confident on, being Goblin Hoompa. But that aside, I think I played decently well, aside from deciding that star power phrases were optional.
Yeah, those star power phrases did end up being those largest gaps in score difference, because everything else, for the most part, was very, very close, especially that last run of One Better. I kind of want to ask you both about that run, because it was so close at about the halfway point. Did you both know where your opponent was at that time, and kind of what was the feeling going into that second half? And I'll start with SkullJoke.
I didn't know where Tali was at score-wise. That song requires a lot of focus from me, so I tried not to pay too much attention to Tali's score and just try to do the best run that I could. I did feel pretty confident in the second half of the song, because I did notice a couple of drops from Tali, and I knew once I got past the bass jam that the rest should be pretty much an auto FC for me. So I felt pretty confident about halfway through.
And then Tali, same question for you, kind of in match, how are you feeling? Did you see the difference, and how did it feel going into that second half of that song?
I did see. I've had remote highways off for my other 2 matches of this tournament. I decided to have them on today, just kind of seeing how I do with them, just because it's been a minute since I've played with them on. And I did see some misses on Astrid's end. I did see a 1 on my score, and I think that might have contributed to me missing the Marimba phrase. But it also just sort of took the pressure off for the end of that solo, so I was able to transition out of it. So double-edged sword, I'd say.
So yeah, and Elves, do you have any questions for our 2 magnificent players?
Oh yeah, definitely. Both of you currently have played 3 matches, and you guys have 2 matches left. So I guess I'll start with Astra. Is there any particular match that you're looking forward to in terms of either moving up to playoffs or just fun to play against? Or
yeah, I really want to play against Remix. We had a really awesome set in CH Swiss last year. That was the first time I had played against him, and just itching for that rematch. I think this is a good set list for both of us. I've seen some of the scores he's posted, so I think it'll be a pretty close one. I'm really looking forward to that.
Oh, definitely.
Going on stream.
That would be really cool. And the same question for Tali. Any particular match you're looking forward to?
Well, I'm safely assuming I'm getting dunked on by Remix, and I'm not putting it past SkullJoke and Remix to dunk on Captain Mario 2. And if that ends up happening, my match against Captain Mario is for an Elite League spot next season. And I am nervous as hell for it because Captain Mario is really, really good at the game. But I think I have a shot, and if I get that shot, then it means I don't know. I've definitely had some doubts about me deserving to be here just because of the whole like play-in last pool sort of thing. You get the idea. I think with that being what confirms my spot in for next season, I think it'll remove that doubt. I am an Elite League player if I can pull that off.
Oh, definitely. And I think based on scores that you put up and how you're faring against other league players, that you definitely are deserving to be here, regardless of Elite League play-in or not. Like, you are proving to be a really, really good player. And I think that match against Captain Mario is going to be a really fun one to watch if that ends up getting streamed.
Thank you.
All right, well, thank you both so much for joining us. We do have a couple more matches to get to, so we will jump into the next one in just a moment here. But thank you both again. Best of luck in the rest of your matches. It is the last week of Elite League groups, so take it in while you still can. It is coming down to the wire. Again, good luck, and yeah, enjoy the last week.
Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah, always a pleasure.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
And that will do it for our first match of the stream. It is the 1 seed SkullJoke taking it 4-0 in a very impressive opening performance. Coming up next, we have maybe the most anticipated match of the stream. I don't want to speak ill on anyone else, but for me personally, I am incredibly excited to see 1 seed Jarvis make his debut in the Elite League group stage against 2 seed SanicStudios, a seasoned CSC tournament veteran.
Yeah, this is going to be a very, very anticipated match. 1 seed versus 2 seed. Like, Jarvis debut. I'm pretty sure a lot of people in chat right now are very, very excited to see this match. And I'm sure that both these players are going to put up some very, very impressive scores.
So, from what I know, I did speak a little bit to Jarvis the other day, and I do know that Jarvis was playing the numbers. I wouldn't expect Jarvis to know every path of every single song, but I would expect Jarvis to have a decent understanding of the paths of the songs he'll be leaning into. Meanwhile, from SanicStudios' side, has a lot more data, actually is 1-1, lost in a tiebreaker to the 3 seed in his group, Atomic. It was an incredibly close match. Could have gone either way, but it was Atomic taking the oppression against SanicStudios in that tiebreaker. Also, Sanic did play Smitty, won 4-2. But again, this is 1 seed versus 2 seed here. Jarvis9999. For those of you who may not know, well, let's say it this way. For those who know Jarvis, he really needs no introduction in the sense that this is a player with potentially the highest ceiling in this entire Elite League.
Definitely. And going off of that, we do have our bans.
Wow.
Jarvis
All right,
is going to choose to ban first, and they're banning Cry Me a River.
Okay.
And Sanic is going to ban Mechanized. Very interesting bans.
So Sanic did have a run on Mechanized, but yeah.
I think the Cry Me a River ban from Jarvis is most likely haven't learned the path yet, if I had to make a guess.
Yeah. I do know also that a lot of players consider that the easiest to FC. So, and I don't mean to say this about specifically Jarvis and Sanic, but anytime you have a higher seed versus a lower seed, the thought could be avoid giving the lower seed the easiest song so that it's not just an FC off and it becomes a path off. But the first pick is in. It is from Jarvis, and it's going to be Not Again Live.
Oh, man. this is widely considered to be one of the hardest songs on the set list, with only, I believe, XD Hakewan FCing.
Yeah, absolutely ridiculous that song is FC'd in match. Hakewan actually is the top 2 scores. 912 is the FC score, and then an 885K is second place. It is Jarvis the 1 seed. It is SanicStudios the 2 seed in Group B, with Not Again to start things off. Once again, best of 7 to see who takes the win in this matchup.
This is going to be an epic match with a very epic song to start out with. And we're going to see both of these players soloing, shredding prowess. Because this song is fast the whole way through.
Yeah, so those who might not know Jarvis, unbelievable speed on the strum bar and on the frets. An all strums demon. I mean, some of the most insane all strums accomplishments you will ever see. I think FC'd Raining Blood GH3 chart on all strums for reference, as just one of many examples. Meanwhile, SanicStudios, as we mentioned, seasoned veteran in this CSC Open Tournament format. But it is going to be nothing but solos in this one. It is a doozy of a chart. And you will see why. I mean, early on, potentially the hardest part, early miss from Jarvis there. Sanic does have the lead, but both have that star power.
Phrase miss from Jarvis there. Double activation. Sanic
Yeah.
Oh, first miss from Sanic, and it was a phrase, so it's going to be Jarvis back into the lead.
Oh my God, both players doing so well. But as you can see, Jarvis now in a bit of a rhythm after the early couple of misses. Now soloing and hitting everything like crazy. Sanic, a couple drops there. You can see these are so fast in this section right here. The ascends, descends, chimneys, it's everything. Every type of pattern you can see as hammer-ons, which is an extra added bit of difficulty. If you miss ones, you got to strum to get back into it. So no doubt, a lot of one-handing from these players, especially with all these strums in there.
Yeah.
His turn is still with a slight lead.
Yeah, 20K for Jarvis. You want a pattern in this song's got it. Like, there's nothing that you will not play patterns-wise in this song. Identical
similar activations, yeah. As, again, it's very close. And I say close, even though it's 20,000 points, because a miss in a song like this ends up being so valuable. The point swings in Elite League are insane. But so far, again, Jarvis staying so strong through the second, I guess after the first third of the song, has really locked in, approaching 600 straight. Sanic's at 700 straight, as a matter of fact, so it's not like Sanic's fallen behind by a million miles, but it's every once in a while, a small miss like that will push Jarvis ahead, and the phrase miss at that. So Jarvis now jumping even further ahead on that star power activation, about 43K.
There goes the act from Sanic. Definitely a little late because of that phrase miss. A little bit of a break there under activation is definitely not what Sanic wanted.
Yeah, and it started there as well with some sustained notes. Jarvis now 1,000 straight as that note streak continues to fly up.
Very difficult section there. The chimneys with the strum at the top.
Oh,
crazy.
God. That is insane. You will see those scores jump a lot because this solo bonus at the end here, the entire song is a solo bonus. So you will see a big jump at the very end. But it will not matter, it looks like, because Jarvis has just gotten into that rhythm and just never let go of the lead after he seized it for the first time.
Yep, as the song comes to a close, it's going to be 40K lead, and then you're going to see that added solo bonus on top, going to bring it to about 60K, 50K.
That is good for fourth in the tournament. A minus 15 for Jarvis, 99% to 97%. Jarvis will take song number 1, pick number 1 from Jarvis as well. So it is 1-0 to open things up.
Definitely. Very strong pick from Jarvis. Minus 15 on this song is not easy. That is very, very impressive. And minus 52 from Sanic, like that's one of the higher scores on this song in match. That's not a bad score at all, but going up against Jarvis,
Oh.
oof.
Also, the Hell B fact that Sanic had -20 and Jarvis hit that. Honestly, that section, those two in the beginning, probably ended up being a big portion of the difference there, because after that they were very similar. That is actually an in-match PB for Sanic by about 3,000 points. But again, Jarvis, when it comes to the soloing, incredibly impressive, and that all-strumming prowess coming to effect in that chimney section that you talked about. The quick rebuttal pick is in. It is going to be Egyptian. They're going right into it for song number 2.
Leaving no room for us to talk.
I guess they're as sick of our voices as Mason Jar is at this point. Shout out Mason on broadcast. But here we go. Song number 2, Egyptian. We've seen it once before. We will see it again here. Now, again, I did mention earlier, I don't know for sure if Jarvis was being 100% truthful when he told me what he did, but not incredibly well versed in all the paths, and for something like this, it could come in handy. A lot of really tricky small details that could be the difference in a song like this.
Yeah, definitely. From what we saw in SkullJoke versus Deltarak's match, it is just the very tiny, tiny misses that can bring the lead so much higher than what you would like it to. Both of these players right now are nailing this.
An absolute cracking start for both, and both very similar activations. I'll stop mentioning them as much because it seems like they're both locked in, and I'm just completely wrong on Jarvis. Should be no surprise there, but it is a tight one as of now. Who will be the first to blink? It'll be both, actually.
Wait, technically, it doesn't matter. Both of them missed basically at the same time.
Yeah, I actually do think it was Sanic who missed first, because now with a slightly larger note streak, but it did end up being Jarvis who ended up having a less costly miss, because it looks like a very slight lead. Within 1,000 though for these two, so one miss will swing the lead here. As we saw, a lot of points on the board. The big sections will be those going funky sections with the chording and the open notes abound.
Yeah, we're gonna see later just how funky these players can get.
Oh, and if I'm not mistaken, it might be a squeezed lead now for Sanic.
Oh man, it is so close to being nil. If either one of these players blinks, is going to be the other one's lead.
Both players gearing up for that first funky section. It's big, big points. A miss under the star power 2 could be crucial.
Oh,
drop
big
there.
praise this.
So
And
no risk of
activated.
overlap here for Jarvis. There is a risk potentially for Sanic. Miss there from Sanic is going to make it really close. The overlap could be the difference.
Oh, there's
Okay, so we'll
overlap.
be there. But Jarvis doesn't get the phrase, so now Sanic with the lead, and they're even on star power once again. So gigantic section there for Sanic, able to clutch it up now, about a 20,000 point lead. They are even once again, so now a little bit of improv pathing here for both. Going to have to take place.
Santa needs to stay locked in if they want to take this match here, because one miss under star power, a phrase miss or anything, Jarvis could come right back.
Here's that other activation. The really tricky transitions both miss it the first time. It will come up. Oh, actually, no, that's the only one time. It just happens twice fast. Very similar section from both there, so it will be Sanic maintaining that lead. Now it's about 31K.
Yeah, it looks like Santa came out of that one a little bit stronger than Jarvis. We're going into the last activation here. Or not, with Santa
Wow.
lifting that phrase. We'll see if that does anything for Jarvis.
That miss there from Jarvis not helping his case, but he does still have this star power advantage. Now they will get an activation off. Will Sanic? A miss here would be crucial. Although I don't think there's enough points left on the board. It is a really fast ending. Just not enough points on the board for Jarvis to come back. It's 1-1.
No sweep in this match. Sanic proves they could stand up to Jarvis. It is 1-1. We'll see where Jarvis goes with his pick after this.
What a matchup. Half of the notes missed on Jarvis's end, but this overstrums end up being crucial. 2 missed phrases there from Jarvis as well. Ends up being the difference. Sanic, very clutch when he needed to be. 1 less phrase missed, and that was all it took to make it a 1-1 matchup. The quick pick worked to perfection.
Sanic was like, bam, we're going in. No time to lose. No time to waste. We'll see how fast Jarvis picks his pick.
Now, funny enough, that was actually about 20,000 points off of PB for Sanic. Sanic had a 583 in this beforehand, but still enough to beat Jarvis there. So knowing your strength and believing in it and going right to it works wonders for Sanic. And now it's back to Jarvis's pick.
I'm sure with Jarvis being a all strums god like he is, I would expect to see LeBlanc get. But it could go anywhere considering Jarvis has not played a match yet. And
absolutely. Yep, the pick is in. It is Invalid's Tap Noodly, another solo pick for the incredibly talented soloer Jarvis. Sanic, obviously no slouch at soloing, but it is going to be a tough one to go up against 1C Jarvis on a song like this.
Oh yeah, this song, every section is so jokeable, and there are very, very crucial star power phrases you have to pick up.
It is a 5-minute bonanza of tap notes. Incredibly difficult. Early drop there from Sanic, but the phrases remain the same. Some very tricky descending chords into some like spread out chords there. There's a little intro section. There's the activation from both. There's a section coming up for those who haven't seen this chart. A lot of open notes surrounding some moving ascending doubles is what I'll call them.
I just like to call it the fingeroid section.
It's the fingeroid section, indeed, for those who remember fingeroid. So both players definitely fingers flying on the fretboard right now. Could be different methods for how they're doing this, but so far both players looking really strong on this one as well. Again, this is a medley. It's called the Noodly because of how much some of these sections by Invalids, incredibly unique time signatures, which is why there's no activation here. Actually, with how the time signatures work and how fast the star power goes, you actually do want to activate after this section, as note dense as it is.
Oh. It really goes to show you that looking at path, you think like from just playing through it, not knowing path, you would activate there 100% of the time. But you'd activate here.
It'll last a while, but yeah, both players are really ripping it right now. First miss from Jarvis's side. Now Sanic now with the lead. Really tricky section there. Both actually nailed that. That was really impressive. That
was good. Sanic, 1100 note streak. Only the one missed note in the beginning, and that was it. That's super, super strong from Sanic so far, and Jarvis is right behind him with another
drop pair from Jarvis. So in some of these in-between sections, between the most note-dense sections, it is Sanic with the slight advantage. Some fast fretting here to get into this other section. Both players are so locked in right now. Gotta love this.
God.
Can they get out of this and get the whammy?
Such a tough phrase there.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Both players right on it. I mean, this is Elite League 1 vs. 2. This is exactly what you would expect from two players this good, and they are showing why they are where they are. Really strong stuff right now, especially from Sanic, who is now at 1,700 straight.
Yeah, this is what you came here to see. This is some top-notch gaming right here.
And none of this very easy, and that's why Sanic with one drop there, and it's still a lead. No phrase drop there, which is huge. It's closer lead now than it once was. That was one hell of a note streak from Sanic. And Jarvis, though, keeping him honest, right on his tail.
Yeah, we have some very, very tough sections coming up, especially right here.
Yep.
Very, very tough section.
We said last match who's going to blink first, and it is again who is going to blink first on a section like this. Both players are ripping this right out. This is so incredibly hard to be consistent at, and so far, unbelievable stuff. Oh my god.
They just went through that. Like, what more do you have to say about that?
Both players hit maybe the hardest section of the song. Drop there from Sanic. If that wasn't the hardest section of the song, it's this right here potentially. A lot of incredibly fast ascends, triplets, and quad ascends. And Jarvis just tearing through it. Oh, the finger speed is insane from both players, but Jarvis showing why they're so good. But it's Sanic, after the activation, still in the lead. It is about a 4K difference, and we are equal on star power. 1,600 straight for Jarvis, but it's still Sanic with the lead.
Oh my god, this section right here as well.
Man.
Super, super tough.
Big activation. Again, those activation misses are so crucial. Both players rock solid through this section right now. Again, it is Jarvis now at 1,900 straight.
Sanic is still in the lead because of their really, really good streak earlier by about 4K.
The miscount between the two is just minuscule right now. There is a little bit of a break. It is going to come down to the outro. Both players now have 6 measures to stare at the score difference and to understand just how important this outro is. Will Sanic steal the song pick from Jarvis? It will all come down to this. Here we go.
There's a very, very big activation here at the end. You have to get some, like, trill chords under star power.
Jarvis a little later. I don't know if there's enough points, though. Big activation! Jarvis at the end! It's over! He takes it!
Sanic activated too early. Oh my god.
Unbelievable. -3 to -6. Insane stuff. Jarvis takes it with the last activation.
You know Sanic is going to be a little salty about that one. That's such a tough way to lose a song, man.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Those two scores are right next to each other on the overall tournament leaderboards. They are neck and neck. It does not get much closer than that. Oh my god.
What an insane song to watch. Like, definitely going to be something to ask both of those players in the interview we will hopefully have at the end.
I mean, you're staring at it right now. Jarvis, General Sherman through the end on that note streak. That is filthy.
Yeah. Like, 1 seed versus 2 seed. This is what you came here to see.
That is such an insane run by Sanic, too. For it to end like that is just devastating. I do believe Sanic does tilt act. That might have been a safety activation to be more comfortable. But Jarvis, with the path knowledge to take song number 3, doesn't get the song stolen. It is now 2-1 in favor of Jarvis. Sanic is up once again.
Let's see where Sanic goes after that very, very tough loss. So Jarvis did win both solo picks, and I believe Magnus was banned. So that's all the solos off the table. We only have strums hybrids left.
Are we sure about this time?
Yes. I actually looked back this time, and all the solos have been picked / banned. We do have a next pick. It is one better at 125. Still an un-FC'd song. We'll see if these absolute titans can get the job done.
All right, the pick for Sanic is one better. As you mentioned, I mean, now we've got solo tiebreaker off the table. And to be honest, I wouldn't like playing Jarvis in any of the tiebreakers.
No, definitely. That seems scary.
But that is certainly a thought that has to have been going through both of these players' minds, knowing the skill of their opponent. But yeah, it's up now to Sanic to, after such a heartbreaking loss, to come back and lock back in for one better, their pick.
A little bit of a slow start.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry to cut you off there. No, I was going to say that this is one of those songs that really has a lot of their tricky sections revolving around chording / open notes. There's some of that as well in Egyptian. So Sanic kind of leaning into that a bit, maybe banking on those sections to be some of the less practice from Jarvis, or maybe less confident. It is Sanic with the early miss, though. And again, it is so tough, as you see Jarvis misses as well, to stay consistent in sections like that, because those hammer-ons, if you try to strum one and it's too late, you could overstrum.
Yeah, this song, as I mentioned in the Deltarak versus SkullJoke, you have to play through it and kind of decide how you want to hit it personally. And we do have a little bit of a lead right as Sanic drops while they act, so the lead swaps back to Jarvis.
Yeah, and the star power is going to be huge. I mean, they're still so close. Man. Oh my. All four players have been ripping that descending chord section, which is not as easy as they're making it look. So it's now a 3,000-point lead going into this saxophone solo.
Gotta love the wide assortment of instruments that you get to play in this song. Such a jam.
Absolutely. No, the instrumentation on this whole thing is phenomenal. There's also a very funky bass solo that will be coming shortly, and that is where the activation will happen. As both players nail that sax solo, and here we go. Drop there from Sanic. Yep, Jarvis now with the lead, maintaining that star power, or that combo, getting that star power phrase. Oh, so clean from Jarvis through that entire activation. Ends up leading to a 10,000-point lead, but as you've seen, 10,000-point swings can happen fast and furious in any of these songs.
Now we have the marimba solo. Let's see if both players can get through this clean.
Incredibly difficult to get through these without any overstrums or drops. Both players hit both of the tricky sections. There's the activation, the follow from Jarvis, at least it looked like it. But very similar, both nail the trill as well.
Oh my god.
And get out of it clean. Wow. And another drop there from Sanic after holding tight for so long. And a cut in another one there. Jarvis has just taken control right here. 1,000 straight, another big note streak from the left side of your screen, as Sanic doing everything they can to keep the pressure on. But Jarvis puts on so much pressure with how clean they've been playing today.
Yeah, it was the same thing with SkullJoke versus Deltarak. Like, just so few missed notes at all from the one seeds today.
And approaching the end here, oh man, all of the chording proving to be no problem for Jarvis as he takes song number 4. It is now 3-1. That's the first song steal of the match as well. And suddenly, Sanic at match point.
Sanic with their back against the wall. Let's see where Sanic wants to go. Probably not expecting that song steal at all.
Another incredibly strong finale of the song. I mean, Jarvis has had a couple early misses in a couple of these songs and then just gone and just not missed. The activations have been really impressive, and the consistency has just made it an impossible task to try and come back if you fall behind.
Yeah, even like just -2 +2 to a -4 +4. Just so little missed notes at all. And that's all that makes the difference.
And if you're Sanic, you also are dealing with the other tricky part of this matchup, which is your opponent has nothing in terms of scores out in the wild for you to study or plan around. So that makes your own song picks that much more difficult, because you can only theorize as to what songs your opponent has been really feeling good on or been playing well on. So for you to just pick a song that they've never played and they just -2 is a tough pill to swallow if you're anybody.
Yeah, definitely. It's in this match, there is no picking to your opponent's weaknesses. There's only picking to your strengths. So we'll see where Sanic goes for their final pick.
So it is going to be, yeah, again, last pick of the match for Sanic. All the solos now are gone, so you've got strums and hybrids left. Like we mentioned, Jarvis, an incredibly strong strummer. Does Sanic maybe test the reset ability, or maybe go to London is Burning and try to take advantage of the sporadicness of those solos, bank on a misfret or a missed strum to cause a miss? There's a lot of options for Sanic, but I can't imagine they're feeling incredibly confident. It's never easy when you go against a 1 seed because you always know in the back of your mind there's potential for FC.
Yep. Every song you go into, you just have to play as best as you can. You know your opponent is not going to miss very often. Sanic definitely thinking. Sanic is definitely thinking about this next pick. And we have it. It is Le Banquet. The first time we're going to see it today on stream. This is a very
we don't know.
pick.
Absolutely. I was going to say, we don't know if these are 100% up to date in terms of the song pick numbers, but last time that the spreadsheet was updated with those numbers, this is the least played song of the tournament. Actually, I could just sort through the Airtable and look. It looks like it's about even with Not Again, maybe a little bit less, but here we go. It is an all strums. I don't want to say Bonanza again, but I can't think of anything else.
Bonanza.
It's a bonanza.
To do whatever needs to be done.
Really, really cool breakbeat chart here.
Oh, yeah.
And as you can see, it's a lot of this for the entire time. The timing of the fretting and the strumming, having both of your hands in perfect unison, so incredibly important. So the focus has to be at another level for a song like this. Both players still holding on to that star power as of now. So we will see where they activate. A little bit different from my activation that I know, but there's the first miss of the song. It is going to be from Jarvis. Plenty of opportunities for misses throughout. Both players not overlapping. Really strong. There is the first miss from Sanic, but it's still Sanic with a slight lead after the first, like, really crazy breakdown of the song.
Yeah, and this song just keeps on going, throwing those random all-strum stuff at you. There's some chordings later. Like, you always have to stay on your toes for this one.
Absolutely. So this song will never be over until the final buzzer sounds. Again, Sanic back against the wall, must win this song to keep the match going. And as we mentioned, not only that, but every song win, so important when it comes to playoff potential or staying in Elite League potential. The seedings and the rankings in your group depend a lot on those song wins. So crucial song for so many reasons in Sanic's corner this time. But it is Sanic still with that 3,000 point lead as we get to this break.
Yeah, Jarvis, keep him honest. Right behind him. Only one miss would swing it.
Yeah, for those who might not know, a one miss difference, about 3,000 to 4,000 points, assuming all notes are non-sustained single notes. When you have chords or sustains, those numbers can vary a little bit, so it really also depends on where you miss. But as we all have seen, where you miss in those activations have really been the difference today, and will continue to be. So huge activation coming up here for both.
Here we go.
Sanic opting for the earlier activation. We will see where things end up after this. Jarvis will activate in the riskier spot. Both players nail that incredibly tricky section right there. No overlap there. Sanic still in the lead. Both players nail the entire section. Unreal stuff right now. And it looks like we've got another one of those songs up.
Yeah, I think actually Sanic had a better activation there because it was 3K and now it's 6K. So I think Sanic, that was a better activation by 3,000 points, which will definitely have a little bit more of a cushion going into this hard chording section right after this break.
There is nothing new. Only
And any cushion you can get against a player like Jarvis is a gift from God, because, man, you count your blessings when you end up with something like that.
I say that nothing is
But big activation, every activation here, but this hot chops section in particular, chock full of points, really tricky strumming, and a lot of chords.
It is madness.
Both nail it. Sanic with the overlap. Jarvis, no overlap.
I'm pretty sure that's an overlap you don't want.
I believe you're correct. So this could be a swing in Jarvis's favor. It is about 10,000 as of now, but the star power advantage for Jarvis, as we mentioned. Still in this hot chop section. It's not quite over yet. There's one more activation in it. Going into hot chops B now. There's the activation from Jarvis. We will see how much that lead changes. Can both players lock in and stay on it? Yes, they can. Both players now above 1,100 note streak. And it is Jarvis with the lead, Sanic with the star power advantage. We don't know for sure how this one's going to end up. It will certainly come down to this outro.
Both players need to stay locked in, going on 1,300 note streak for both of them. Going into this outro.
Very
Anything could
missable
happen
outro.
here.
Incredibly missable outro. Not the hardest
Yes,
part.
we
There's
see
the
it.
first miss. It's from Sanic. Gets the star power, though. Huge activation. We will see where it ends up after this. And Sanic. Just off the lead by about 2,000 points. Will this be the end of the line? Unbelievable. And a miss there from Sanic will just about put the final nail in the coffin. It is going to be Jarvis with the incredibly close 4-1 victory against 2-seed Sanic. Got pushed to every limit there was. Is a 5,000 point difference at the end of it. And another huge run by Jarvis. +1, just one overstrum to a -1 +2. That is insane.
The only note Sanic actually missed was that one little tap note at the end. But other than that, they were both on insane streaks. If Sanic hadn't dropped it all in the outro, they would have had it. But that is what you expect going up against a 1 seed like Jarvis, is that one miss is all it takes.
So just a phenomenal performance by Jarvis, who shows no sign of rust or anything of the like, or a slow start when it comes to group stage matches. I mean, again, just incredibly impressive. Sanic put on unbelievable scores for that whole freaking set. There might be only one person in that group that could outplay Sanic with how Sanic played today in that set of songs, and it's Jarvis.
Definitely. I know the rest of that group, I believe it's Group B, is probably shaking a little bit watching those scores. Because, man, that was Jarvis's first match. Jarvis got to face everyone else in the group.
And we will be getting him momentarily. And here they are, both players, the 1 seed and 2 seed of Group B. It is Jarvis and it is Sanic. What a matchup from both of you. Jarvis, congratulations.
Thank you.
Insane match. So close on a bunch of those songs. I mean, I guess just give me your mindset right now, Jarvis, coming out of that match.
I can lock in, evidently, and if I can just do that again, then I think I might be fine going forward. Because some of those scores are the best scores I've set on those songs. The last two, for example, the strummy picks, like the hybrid strum ones. I don't know. I'm personally just blown away by that. Wow.
I know you're not the only person blown away by that. And then Sanic going into this match, I mean, against a player like Jarvis with no prior scores to go off of. How do you feel about? How are you feeling going into the match? And then how are you feeling now with? I can't imagine you're too upset with how you played. And yet, it's sometimes that happens.
I mean, yeah, like the biggest part of going into that was not knowing what to ban, how good Jarvis was going to be on certain songs. Like,
you picked the best ones, honestly.
I'm regretting my mechanized ban because I know I could have done better on that than I could have done on Not Again. But I had a feeling that it was going to be too spread, like the scores on that song.
Gotcha.
Like I wanted to keep it close to keep like the pressure on.
Ooh, you like that? Gosh, that's scary.
But yeah, and then just to go back, first and foremost, I mean, the first two songs close for a long time, but ended up squeezing out at the end. And then we get to the Invalids Drop Noodly, which Sanic, you had it right at the end, and then the early act, and Jarvis with a phenomenal activation at the end there to steal it.
Look, I'm sorry, that was a Hail Mary act from me. I didn't know like what I was doing. I knew it was somewhere around there, but the fact that I hit it perfectly, apparently, because even like Luna said it too, and I was like, "What?" Like,
No, you hit it like on the note. Like on the note,
That's
you hit it.
insane, because I didn't remember like exactly where. I was just like, "It's somewhere around here. I'll just act and see what happens." And then I see I go ahead, and I'm like, "Huh? Did I have more star power? I didn't. It was just a better act, apparently."
I mean, it was a great run, like unreal by Jarvis. Also from you, Sanic, that is an insane run from Invalids as well.
Yeah,
Could all have gone both ways.
I hit the psychological warfare brick, and I was like, I do not remember where the activation is. Like
That's
it was truly psychological warfare.
That's wild. No. If all the
Insane
songs,
luck.
like the last three from Invalids on, could have gone anyone's game.
Yeah,
Really, it was
that-
within
that
like
was-
10k.
That was closer than I thought it was going to be. Like, I'm more than happy with how that went.
No, I knew it would be a close match going in, because I saw some of the
I'm
scores
trying
you
to
put on,
remember.
I was like, I can maybe... Like, I might have some picks where I might be able to edge out, but like stuff like One Better, Le Banquet, that kind of stuff, I'm shocked I got those runs that I did. Because you would have taken me any other day.
It was crazy note miscounts. Also, the note streaks you got on Jarvis were just stupid.
No, like, again, just, I guess, lock in.
Yeah.
It just
for
works.
any young Clone
Wow.
Hero gamers out there who are wondering how to be the next Jarvis, simply lock in.
Simply
lock
lock
in.
in.
Just hit more notes.
Just
Elvis,
hit more
what do you
notes.
got?
Just focus.
I'm just gonna ask you two the same that I asked the previous match. Jarvis, that was your first match. Are there any
Yes.
players that you are looking forward to playing?
Atomic and Dark Wolf, probably. If we're talking groups still, those
Yeah.
are the two I'm pretty excited about, because I don't know what to expect, really. I know they have their own play styles, but I'm like, okay, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and they are both absolute monsters at the game as well. And same with you, Sanic. You are 3 matches in now. I believe your 2 matches remaining are Vark and Dark Wolf.
Yes.
Dark and Dark.
Yep, Vark and Dark. Anybody that you were looking to play in particular?
I have a feeling me and Doc could be like quite close depending on how things swing, but I don't think I've ever seen Vark play, so I'm like quite curious going into that.
Yeah, and those are going to be very fun matches to watch as well.
I am quite scared about the fact that if I go through the playoffs at this point, which would be in second place probably, that most likely means I'm facing Matra first. Just looking at the
Well,
bracket.
We will see, because there's still a lot of matches left to be played, relatively speaking, in you guys' group.
Right.
Because now with 2 losses, essentially anyone with less losses is currently ahead of you until
yeah,
the
like,
match
I'm-
surpass you in
Like,
total
this is an
loss.
if.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Yeah, this is very much an
It
if.
is. I think I speak for a lot of people when I say Group B has become one of the. I mean, it's a very stacked group.
Have we
So-
claimed Death Group this season?
I think you're Beth Group.
Yeah, Bath Group.
Scary.
But yeah, no, and also I did want to point out there was a point, I forget which song it was, Sanic was behind and then squeezed out a lead. I think it was Egyptian, and then
Yeah.
it flipped again. Like,
No, I
that was
noticed that.
insane too. Oh my god. But yeah, anyway, great match, you two. We do have one more match to get to, but thank you both for your time and for playing on stream. Best of luck. You have 1
Anytime.
week left to get the rest of your matches in, so have
Oh, don't
fun
worry,
with
they
the
are scheduled.
sprint to the finish. Excellent.
Yep.
I love to hear that. All right, but best of luck to you both moving forward and going into the last week of the season. Good luck.
Oh boy. Good luck to the next ones up. See you guys around.
Good luck.
See you guys.
Take it easy.
Good luck, you
Hey.
two.
Right, bye.
Thank you both, Sanic and Jarvis, for joining us. And now we move to the final match of the evening. That was a heck of a matchup. 1-4 it's one of those matchups where, again, the final score does not show you just how close that was. So we will see how this next one lives up to this hype. This is going to be another big one. It is Triss versus GiometriQ, 2-seed versus 4-seed. I can say, as someone who was on staff, that Triss was the closest 2-seed to being a 1-seed. So this might as well be a 1-seed versus a 4-seed. And again, Gio's another one of those players who was very close to being in that next rung. I mean, Elves, why don't you just talk about Triss and Gio here?
I mean, all goes to show that Gio was the runner-up of 2025 playoffs, losing to Nados after a massive 3 matches in a row. Like, Gio can go the distance, and I'm sure we'll see that today, especially against a very, very strong player like Triss. I personally have not seen Triss play more than a couple of times, so I don't really know much about Triss. All I know is that they're really, really good.
Yeah, this is going to be a good one. We do have bans and the first pick in. The bans, first and foremost, no deferral here, is Triss banning Crimea River, and I don't know what weapon.
It's London is Burning.
I don't know how it's okay. So London is Burning is the second ban. That is Gio's ban. So we will not see London is Burning today, but or Crimea River, as a matter of fact. So both of those songs off the table. First pick is Invalids Tapping Noodly from Triss.
Triss has the high score on this at a 988.
Insane.
Almost a million points on this.
Would you say the favorite to potentially get the first FC in match?
That would be something to watch for sure. And Triss can do it. Gio, I think Gio can do it if Gio locks in. It's going to be tough for both of them. This is a really, really tough
Gio's
song.
on all strums, just so everyone knows. Gio is currently on all strums. I don't know why. That
Gio,
is crazy.
Stop messing around, Gio.
That'd be one heck of a mind game to go into your match and be like, oops, I actually have double notes for note shuffle all strums on.
Oops, I accidentally had dropless sustains on, nothing much.
So yeah, not only does Triss have the #1 score on this, they also have played Invalids in match 3 times. Gio has played only 1 match. That was an 0-4 to Matref. Triss actually beat Matref, who is the 1-seed, 4-2. So Triss now in the driver's seat in this group for all intents and purposes. And here we go, Invalids Tap Noodly once again.
Yeah, this song just keeps going. There are so many important phrases, so many important parts. Both players are nailing it so far.
Absolutely nailing it. And with how good these players are, I could see both players FCing through the second act. But again, I mean, it's hard to say that because when you're the person in the arena, it is so much harder to perform at your very best. But these are 2 players who have shown they're very capable of doing just that. It's actually been a while since Triss has been in a tournament, as Gio does have the first drop there of the match. But yeah, it's been a while since Triss has played in tournament, but a very accomplished player, an Elite League player. There's the drop there, though, from Triss. Now Gio in the lead, but this is a phrase, and now Triss is going to have the phrase advantage if they can hit, and they do. Another drop there from Gio. So Triss now with the point lead and the star power lead.
No Invalids Tapping Noodly FC for now. There may be one in the future, but not this match.
Not this match, unfortunately. But back to the task at hand. It is Triss now, again, lead in 2 different methods, and there is the activation. Gio will have to next note act if they are going to stay on this path, and they will.
And we'll see what the score is after this.
Oh, both players nailed that, too. Really impressive by both.
Looking like 18K in favor of Triss right now. Definitely not a decisive lead at all, seeing what we've seen for Elite League so far.
Absolutely. Now, I do know that Triss was talking about potentially postponing this match due to some guitar issues, if I understand correctly. But I do believe that their silicone fret guitar neck led them to feeling good enough to play for today. So I'm not sure how their guitar is feeling, but when it comes to someone as talented as Triss, on pretty much any hardware, they're going to succeed, and they succeed very nicely on that section, able to hit that. Gio not able to get that activation, and this will be a big jump for Triss here in this song.
That star power bar is just going down so slowly under these open note triplets.
And you can see it now, yes, as SkullJoke points out in chat, that was a huge miss, about a 70,000 point lead now for Triss. It is a tall mountain to climb for Gio, especially with a couple more misses here. Triss showing just why they're as good as they are with this note streak right here.
Yeah, this is going to be tough for Gio to climb back from, but only about halfway through the song. Star power advantage for Gio, Gio is going to act here, and another drop from Triss there.
Coming up on this General Sherman pattern, which again, such a difficult section. I mean, you look at the variation in the patterns that happen and the variation in how fast you're using one hand versus the other. It is incredibly tricky to get a consistent method for it. And yet the players we have seen today playing so strongly through that section. And once again, we're seeing it here from Triss and Gio.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's tough for Gio to come back from 70,000 points no matter how consistent they play, because Triss is just not going to drop that much. Except for right there.
And, I mean, this is incredibly impressive from both still. Only one miss there from Triss. Gio obliterating this incredibly fast section. Hits the whole thing of Idle Promise there. That is really damn impressive.
Yeah, nailed that.
Now it is still Triss with that big ol' lead. But Gio showing they came locked in. It's just that one miss, and it shows how important that phrase, which is a very difficult phrase in this song, maybe the hardest phrase of the song, is just so valuable. This is going to be one heck of a score from Triss as well.
Yeah. Makes me curious as to what optimal is, how, like, if it's 1 million or over 1 million.
It's definitely close. I wouldn't be shocked if Random Days, because this was a CSC edit, I wouldn't be shocked if Random looked at the song and made sure that optimal was above 1 million, but could be. I'm not sure. Here's the outro. We'll see what this final score looks like. It will be Triss taking the 1-0 lead with an incredibly strong performance. We'll see the miscount as well. But in terms of where this ranks amongst the rest of the scores, 982, 828 is good for second place behind only Triss for top scores in match. -6. 1-0 Real Savage Triss.
Real Savage Triss indeed. That very savage way to start out the match with a -6 and taking the second score.
26 Ghosts is also disgusting.
Oh my god, that's so clean for such a tapping noodly. Like, when I play through it, there are some parts where I would do like a triplet instead of like there's 2 notes there. It's so easy to ghost in this song. So my 26 Ghosts is very, very impressive.
As was that run by Gio, the score will not quite reflect it. If he had gotten that one extra activation, that would have been a much different score, but still, nonetheless, note miscount on that run was very impressive from Gio as well. So Gio is certainly feeling pretty good on the fingies. We'll see how the second song goes, though. Where will Gio go for song pick number 1 in the second song of the match?
Definitely. I know. Oh, I was going to talk more, but we already have the next pick. It's Apocalypse Canvas at 125. This song is just so fun to watch, and it's constantly difficult the whole way through. We'll see what both these players can do.
Now, I do know that both of these players were rather chatty with their score. They were openly sharing best scores on songs and thoughts about picks and bans. I do know there was some discussion that Triss had about potentially banning Apocalypse Canvas. We will see if that was a red herring and Triss is actually incredibly locked in on this song, or if Gio can take advantage here. Now, in match PBs, again, Gio's only played once, but Triss does have an in-match PB about 33k better than Gio. So in terms of recent match data, it is Triss with the advantage. But with someone like Gio, if they can hit all the notes, you better believe they're going to have a high score.
Definitely. Gio is known for very, very uptight pathing, squeezing, you name it. Like, getting as close to optimal score as possible. Perfect acts from both of them.
Yeah, it is the exact same ticks difference. It could be a tie match as of now. This section, really tricky. If both players can get through it and get the act, it'll be huge. This is a potential for a squeeze. I think it might be Gio head. But the drop there is going to put Triss now in the lead.
A couple more drops from Gio are going to extend that lead to about 10k.
What's so important was hitting that phrase there. Triss still on that FC, but Gio is going to have to stay locked in, especially when it comes to these star power phrases if they want to keep this thing close. And there are plenty of opportunities for drops here on the side of Triss, but we'll have to see where they go. First big solo right here.
Here we go. Super fast tapping. Drop from Gio. Triss nails it.
Remains perfect through the first solo. Really impressive start here from Triss as they take a comfortable lead, but not too comfortable in a song like this.
You're never too comfortable in a song like this. There's so many things that can throw you off, and slightly earlier act from Gio there.
Big section here.
Crusty solo time.
Very crusty solo, meaning that those strums in between make it so much harder. Activation there from Triss is going to try and squeeze that last chord and will get it. It is Triss still on combo at 370k and counting.
Looking at about 17k right now, but there's still plenty of song to go for Gio to come back.
We have seen an FC of Apocalypse Canvas from SkullJoke earlier today. Triss at the halfway mark plus is looking very strong as well. Gio is keeping it honest. I mean, it is certainly within reach if there's a bad miss here, and there are plenty of note-dense sections remaining under star power. This is one right here. Both players will act differently. First miss there from Triss. Activation from Triss, followed by Gio potentially, or that's the activation, not sure. But here is the activation coming to a close. So perfect solo, a little bit of extra points from that solo bonus as well. So it's now just a little over 10k for Triss. Actually, maybe a little less than 10k coming into this outro, and it's going to be all up to this here.
Yep, very, very tough tapping part here, especially when it comes up to the open notes. Yeah, this can throw you off so easily.
Transitioning into that, it is both players on the streak now. This phrase is really tricky and important. Both players nail it. There's the activation from both. The transition into this ending could be the difference. Gio with the miss. Triss able to transition. Both actually do very, very nicely. There is an overlap at the end here as well that if Triss does not overlap could be a problem. But the miss there from Gio, that might be enough for Triss to take the lead into the ending.
Yep.
And there it is from both. They will both get an overlap. That is a really impressive performance by Triss. It was able to Triss was able to clutch up at the end there, and that is a really impressive score as well. 684. It is 2-0 for Triss.
Oh yeah, 684 is going to be just below some of those FCs. There are currently 6 FCs, with 5 of them being the top scores, and 684 is going to be just below those. And Gio putting up a good score as well, but unfortunately just couldn't match up to the minus. I didn't even look. I was looking at the...
I didn't see Triss's. It might be -5. There it is. Yeah, 5 misses in 3B. Ended up being all that there was. The only blemish on the entire run for Triss there was solo 3B. Everything else squeaky clean from RST.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where Gio goes here next after being down 2-0. This was the first song, Steel. See if Gio, that was maybe his strongest pick, or maybe he's just warming up to his strongest picks. We'll have to see.
Well, we'll be Gio picking again. Both streaks really strong, 1,300 and 1,500. But man, the difference ends up being that consistency at the end. And I mean, again, that was really strong pathing from Triss as well. Triss, another seasoned vet. I mentioned it's been a while since Triss has competed, but I mean, clearly still very on top of the pathing and the note hitting as well through the first two songs here. As Gio now has a tall task to not only pick next, but you've got an 0-2 deficit to overcome now.
Yeah, I know Gio in particular tends to lean on the strum picks, but there are some very strummy hybrids, so we'll have to see where Gio goes. I would definitely be expecting maybe Goblin Humpa or maybe One Better.
Nice adjustment on the fly there, partner. That was a really slick move. One Better is the pick, as a matter of fact, and it's going to be a big one, because if this changes either 0-3 or 2-1, vastly different scenarios if you're GiometriQ. Gio has been in this situation before. In fact, in the finals of Open, I believe was down 0-2 at least once, maybe twice, but this could be this is a huge song here.
Yeah, 1-2 versus 0-3 is a huge difference in terms of how a match can go.
So Gio now has to lock in. We've seen this song a couple times before. We've seen it twice before, as a matter of fact. Each match has seen all three of these songs. Actually, no, the first match did not have influence, but as you've seen, you're gonna save star power for a while here. Although if you see some crazy activation from Gio, I'm sure it's on purpose.
Yeah, any activation you see Gio do is probably the right activation, unless he's missed a phrase. And even then, he probably has backup path.
Now, it is about a 14k difference in terms of in-match PBs in favor of Triss. Both players are looking really strong on those trills. We'll do it again.
Oh.
And it is Triss making it through. Gio with the drop there. But we'll be able to get ×4 before the activation. Both players right on. It might have been a little bit more of a squeeze on the back end, or on the front end from Triss. Both players are looking really solid here. Just the single miss from Gio. But man, all the players today making this cording look like nothing. Drop there from Gio, though, out of star power. It's about as lucky as you can get, because it is a big miss with those chords, but able to minimize the damage there.
Looking about 8k for Triss right now. Plenty of song to go. We'll see where these players act. Triss is still not an FC. This song has not been FC yet. Maybe it could happen. I'm not cursing Triss.
Here we go. Big activation here. If Gio wants to come back, it's going to be here. It's going to have to be a blemish from Triss. And there it is, but both miss. And so Triss is going to hang on to that lead out of that star power. The chance was there, but the one miss from Gio ends up negating it.
See if something happens in this marimba solo. Very, very tough phrases to hit in the solo. Some tough fretting. This could decide the song. There we see it.
And the phrase, that could be it. Missed there, though, as the activation happens, so leaving some points on the board on that activation. Missed there from Gio, while Triss is on ×4, hitting that trill, is going to open that lead up big time. And suddenly, Triss way ahead.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for Gio to come back. Only one act, maybe 2 acts left. It's going to be tough. We have to see some serious drops from Triss in order for Gio to come back. That is not what you want to see, is a phrase drop.
And yeah, I mean, it's just, the play is so airtight from Triss right now. The 1 seeds /2 seed here from Triss. although having kind of earned 1 seed after beating their group's 1 seed. Point being, the top seeds have been playing lights out today, and it continues here. Just a remarkable ending here from Triss.
Yeah,
Man, 520. 3-0 Triss.
just absolute, just cut clean gameplay. -5, +2. All of those misses just in the single digits. Like, just not much room for error at all.
That will be Triss's worst run and Gio's worst run of the song. So both players kind of not. It goes to show that you're not going to get your best performance on every single song. No matter how much Jarvis may make you think that, it actually does not happen. So it always, when you're preparing for a match, always you want to keep in mind, my opponent is not going to have their best song on every single song. So you don't want to set these unfair expectations for yourself or your opponent. You got to realize that it's really about who can be the closest to their best on the day. And so far, it has been Triss who has been playing remarkably. Gio not playing badly, but Triss, I mean, again, it's been the top seeds all day have been playing really well.
Yeah, definitely. I know a wise man once said, it's not about the best score you can get once. It's about the best score you can get all the time. And that is how you get consistent enough to play these songs super well in matches. We'll have to see what Gio's final pick for the match is.
Do you have any predictions?
I think it's Goblin Humpa still.
Wow. We've got Nostradamus over here. It is
Man.
Goblin Humpa 115, saying it after it appeared in game.
No. I was going to say Goblin Humpa anyways. You knew Okay, you know what?
You have to convince chat, not me. I believe you. But I'm
Okay,
worried
okay.
chat might not believe you.
Chat believes me.
Okay.
I'm confident in
Well.
that.
Very interesting. Hearing from Goku that Gio actually plays with VSync on. Normally frowned upon on Clone Hero as an engine, but whatever you're most comfortable with is what you should go with. And with how Gio performed in the Open Finals, there's no doubt they should be playing as they've been playing. But here we go. Last song potentially is the last pick by Gio. Early miss from Gio as well. Triss now in the lead early after a couple misses on Gio's side. Triss does have the 4th best score on this song. Both players going with the risky act. Got to whammy really well to get this overlap. Both players do. That is remarkable stuff by both.
Looking at about 6K right now, maybe 5K from Triss. Still plenty of song to go, even if this song is only about 2.5 minutes.
Yes, not only is it chock full of note-dense sections all throughout, but as you may or may not know, that ending, incredibly chokeable. It could come down to that, but Gio's going to have to keep things close. Another couple misses there as Triss stays on point.
Triss making this song look easy, but and Gio's keeping him honest, but it's going to be tough when your opponent is not missing.
This solo, man, the resets are there for both players right now. And those really quick trills as well, very tricky to get into those. First miss there from Triss, so it's not over yet. Still about 9,000 point lead, maybe a little less.
Definitely some room for Gio to come back. We'll have to see. Okay. We'll have to see what this next activation brings, because there's so many points under each activation.
Oh, but the drop under act from Gio. And another one there. Oh, man, that is a tough hole to dig yourself out of now. It's going to be up to Triss to close it out. We're approaching the end here. Yep, last act coming up here. It is that fateful last act of the song. Earlier act, actually earlier. Oh wow, never mind. It was perfect. And what a
that's
score
cool.
from Triss. Holy cow, that is the best score on Goblin Humpa in the entire tournament from Triss to close things out
God.
4-0.
Beating Mattress FC. That is with a -1. Definitely shows how much pathing work Triss put into that. And Gio having a low miscount as well, but it's just not enough against a -1 best score in the tournament.
To close things out on a top tournament score is really remarkable, especially considering it was your opponent's pick. I mean, we saw some really, really good play from the lower seeds in these matches, but these upper seeds showed up and showed out today. It was a remarkable set of matches from all three, and Triss with the cherry on top here with an unreal set of songs in this one.
Yeah, it is so hard seeing these such low miscounts and super high scores that the high seeds have put up today. Like if I was a lower seed going into a match today, I would be quaking in my boots.
Quaking in my boots as well. It would be a really tough one.
So hopefully we can get Triss and Gio in here for a final interview to close this out.
Absolutely. That is Triss's 4th match out of 5. Gio, while down 0-2 right now, still having 3 matches remaining. So the door on not only staying in Elite League, but the door on playoffs not technically closed just yet on Gio either.
Yeah, if Gio wins out, then he can stay in Elite League. And
Also
that's
would love
definitely a
to-
real possibility.
I'm so sorry to cut you off there. I just wanted
you're
to
good.
really quickly shout out GiometriQ's mom as well. We love seeing family and friends supporting everybody, no matter what the end result is. So huge shout out to her. Show the love in chat. Always appreciate it. It was very well played by both. Absolutely. So it was a treat to watch them both, as we will get to speak to both of them in just a moment. There's Gio and there is Triss coming off of a really remarkable performance. I mean, honestly, by both players, but I do want to start with Triss, the 1 seed, or well, now the 1 seed in your group, considering the last couple matches. But just talk about how you played today. Top 10 scores on every song in tournament today, as well as you just scored number 1 on Goblin with a miss. How are you feeling going into today's match?
That's news. Honestly, the thing about Gio is, like, we've been good friends for a long time now, and yet somehow never competed against one another. And when you've never competed against somebody, there's always like a little bit of nerves, like not knowing exactly what they're capable of. And I was friggin' nervous going up against Gio. We played a little bit and we divulged some of our secrets and stuff like that. And he even like tutored me on some songs, Humpa included, by the way. So like that score in particular is actually thanks to Gio for teaching me some pathing tricks.
I got you. I can help but help.
Yeah.
And Gio, going into this match against a player like Triss, never an easy task. And all you can do is hope for them not to score top 10 in every single song.
Yeah.
Sometimes them's are the breaks.
So, yeah, I mean, going to this match, just like Triss said about me, it was the, equivalent. I was also pretty nervous for this match because I've definitely seen what Triss is capable of and knew they were going to be bringing it. In preparation for this, I was trying to maybe like account for last time some of my nerves influencing some of my decision making against Mattriff last time, looking over at his highway a bit much. So for the first time in a while, I actually had remote highways off.
Wow.
Didn't seem to pay off, but regardless, Triss played fantastic, and like you said, top 10 scores in all of their playthroughs of all 4 songs. So tough to beat that.
Definitely. And I do want to just, so first of all, I'm actually curious, do you think you would now abandon having remote highways off, or would you think about trying that again? Because you do still have 3 big matchups coming up.
Very true, very true. But no, I figured this would be the match experiment because I had very similar nerves as I did with Matrif, and it didn't seem to make much of a difference at all. So I'll probably stick to what I know and probably stay with Remote Highways on.
Well, it was a great matchup to watch nonetheless. I mean, Triss, some insane note streaks. Honestly, and Gio, your note streaks all over were also very, very impressive. I guess I'll start with Triss. What is something you learned from this match that you'll take into the rest of your matches?
Ooh, that's a good one. My brain is still a little bit fried here.
I'm sure. Yeah, I know it's a bit of a tough one. You take your time.
That's a very good question.
Gio, if you've got something, you can jump in actually as well, because the same question for you.
Well, shit. Now that it's turned at me too, yeah. Now I understand the gravity of how hard that question is to answer.
I mean, partially the remote highways thing is one, is knowing that.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess I can just go back to that point while Tris thinks about his answer. Is like, yeah. I've debated with a few friends about like, if having remote highways on was really quite detrimental and maybe is detrimental in the long run to have on, in my case. But I think I've learned from this match that like I don't think it makes as much of a difference to constitute turning them off, just personally for me. I think that's something that I can absolutely take away from this match. Yeah, I'll just probably just reiterate that point.
Sure. Triss, anything? If you don't have anything, that's fine.
You put me on the spot, man.
The answer is I taught Triss nothing.
That is, well, no, that's before the match.
But yeah, I mean, I'll leave it to. I mean, this was your fourth match, so you've really only got one match left. So I guess it does make sense that there wouldn't be too much changing at this point. Kind of keep going with what works.
Well, the thing I'm most concerned about, I think out of this group, Fingerquick is probably the player that I know the least, and so that's kind of, I don't know. I don't want to say it's like playing into my mentality. I'm still just gonna practice as hard as I can and play to my strengths and all that. But I have no idea what Fingerquick's gonna bring to the table, so I think that'll be an interesting one.
It will definitely be an interesting one. Would love to see that one on stream if that ends up coming to fruition. But no, that will definitely be a good one. Elves, what do you have?
I think the only thing I want to say is, Triss, you're pretty much locked in for playoffs. So, how are you feeling about advancing? Any like set list predictions? Any?
I was joking earlier in the stream about how there's got to be some kind of car bomb or something in there, but that wasn't very serious. I'm excited to play harder songs. It's been such a long time since I've competed, and while I'm really comfortable with this group stage, like the difficulty and everything, I'm excited to really kind of sweat a little bit more. I guess maybe get my ass kicked a little bit.
Oh, definitely.
And,
yeah.
Possibly some
same...
rematches.
Sorry.
Some old players that I've played in the past, who are also definitely making it to playoffs. But
yeah, for sure. And
Gio.
No, I'm gonna stay subtle on that.
Oh yeah. And Gio, you have gotten your hardest 2 matches out of the way. So you have 3 matches left against Fingerquick, Wings, and Firebird. How are you feeling going into those?
So I know you say hardest, maybe statistically seat-wise, but the way I feel about it is like I got to treat them just as serious as the first 2. I mean, everyone is in this bracket for a reason, and I need to treat them all as such. So definitely going to be going back into the lab. I do feel probably maybe like a tinge less stressed about the next 3, especially since like I don't have to try to maybe worry about making playoffs at this point. It's more so about like a smaller goal of trying not to get relegated. But who knows? I'm excited to play all 3 of the rest of my matches. So
yeah, definitely, man. They're going to be fun matches to watch, especially
Yes,
from
they
an
are.
old theater perspective like myself. So if DaMan has anything else to add, or we can leave you to it.
Yeah, I think we will cut it here. because we do actually have a little bonus featurette, and I'm going to try and make sure we can raid this. It is going to be a bonus match on another stream. jdsmitty versus Atomic will be one heck of a matchup.
Okay.
So we will look to raid that stream so you guys can watch another great matchup. But thank you all so much for joining us on stream today. I want to take a moment to shout out Luna, who did a fantastic job reffing today, fighting the EP and making it through. So congrats to her. And then Elves as well. Thank you for joining us as caster. And huge shout out finally goes to Mason Jar for broadcasting today. So make sure to show some love to Mason Jar. Has been instrumental in making sure all these streams go on without a hitch. So really appreciate Mason Jar as well. So thank you all so much for joining us. We will see you again next time. It is the last week. I can give you guys a little teaser right before we go. Next week's streams, the announcement will be coming either later tonight or tomorrow, but the streams next week will be Wednesday, Friday, and then Saturday will just be playoff reveal / setlist reveal. So what that means is all matches have to be done by 1 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. There's no stream happening at 1 p.m., so you need to have all matches done by 1 p.m. so that all of our goblins can put in all your scores, run the stats to the computer, and the computer will tell us who is where in that playoff bracket. So, all that being said, for Elves, Mason, Luna, I am DaMan. Thank you all so much for joining us. We will see you again next time.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, DaMan. It was a pleasure casting, pleasure watching these amazing matches. And we are going to raid jdsmitty. So stick around, everybody. Because you thought you were getting 3 matches. You're actually getting 4 matches.
If I can raid.
Your content.
I don't know if I can set up the raid. We'll find it out. We'll do something. We'll try our best. Yes.